Hello, welcome back. Nothing like a good cup of tea in the homestead of an evening. It is a very windy evening. We had torrential rain last night, but I did put a tarpaulin over the top of the summer house, and I came down this morning because it had blown off. So it's now back up there. It took a bit of a struggle to get it up by myself, but it's now there and done. So what a week. Been a very busy week. Early starts, late finishes, not getting enough sleep. That's what my whoop band has been telling me. So I'm pleased that it's all over and I can try and get some normality back. One downside of this week is I had a bit of a scrape in the car, let's call it. I went to the gym and I thought, oh, there's a road. It's a lane, but it must come out in the street. So I followed it and I got to the point where I realised that on the left hand side there was a 100-foot drop. And there was a barrier there. So I got to the end and I thought, oh, I can't get out. I'll reverse down to the little corner piece. So I did that, and then I realised I could feel the wheel going over the curb. And I thought, if this goes over the curb, it's going to be dangling over the 100-foot drop. So I thought, right, let's get down to the corner, swing the car around, and then I'm gone. Well, I did that, and somehow I got myself in a bit of a pickle. I got the car to about an inch from the wall. So I tried to go forward and go back in order to try and manoeuvre my way out, but I seemed to be getting myself tighter into a squeeze. So I had to make the decision. If I reversed backwards, my wing mirror would have come off. And if I went forward, I would scratch the back of the car. So that's what I did. I just put my foot down and went, and the back of the car scratched. It looked a lot worse at the time. I've washed it since and it doesn't look as bad, but it still looks bad. So a friend has offered to have a look at it, so that's what I'm going to do first. He's got some tea cream or something, so we're going to put that in and see how it fares. So I won't be going down that lane again. So today, all I'm doing is catching up on sleep. When I came down here this morning, I was sat here waiting for the rain to stop, and I just fell off to sleep. So the tarpaulin is on. The guy came last week to have a look at it, and he said the wood is a bit damp, there's nothing we can do, so you need to put a tarp over the top. And I was a bit like, well, it wasn't damp in those 3 weeks that you should have come back in May. Anyway, it'll get done when it gets done. I must send him a text to find out whether it's going to be done next week. Because according to the weather forecast, once we get over this bad weather in the next 48 hours, next week is supposed to be a week with a high of 24 degrees. So I'm planning to make the most of my days and come down and do a day of solid weeding. I want to weed the little herb bed outside the summer house and the big bed on the right hand side with the roses. This is the problem when you get involved with local societies. I was thinking this week because okay, it rained on the day of the event, but the day before was a beautiful day and it would have been ideal to have been down here. So I did find myself throughout the day sort of thinking, is it worth getting involved with things? Maybe I shouldn't get involved with anything at all and just spend a year down here. But then that would be rather boring, wouldn't it? Not seeing anybody else for a year and just getting on with the garden. Apparently the village, one street got flooded this morning, but it was nowhere near as bad as it was the last time, last November. And that's why I came down, because I wanted to check on the river. But for the river to burst its banks, that means the entire village would be gone. If I had looked on the camera and this was under water, then something seriously wrong has happened. Because, like I said, every street in this area would just be underwater. Because we are on a slight raise. It's not a hill, but when you compare it to the next village, we're just slightly up on a bit of a tump, as they say. That's an old word you don't hear these days, do you? Tump. They've gone up the kids have gone up the tump. Talking about kids, when I went down to the shop to go and get some water in order for me to have a cup of tea, I thought, you don't see that very often these days, do you? There was about 8 kids stood on the side of the road screaming at the cars to toot their horns. Toot your own, mate, toot your own! And as the cars were passing, and even the bus driver got involved, and as he passed, his horn went do 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 do, and then they were all cheering by the side of the road. And then the ice cream man came and they scarpered. Didn't see them for dust. And I thought, see, kids still play outside. Not everybody is stuck indoors looking at a computer screen. This tarpaulin is making the weather sound a lot more dramatic than what it is. It's just a bit of wind. Although I'm going to try and get home before the rain starts again, because I've come down in my t-shirt. I got seduced by the hour of sunshine that we had. So besides the tunnel event last week, not a lot's gone on. I've been very good with my healthy eating up until yesterday. Yesterday and today have been a bit all over the shop. And I think that's down to me just feeling tired and not being in the mood to cook. So this is what I'm saying. If the sun's coming out Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, and I'll just take the next few days, slow and steady, get my shop in order back in again, and make sure the house is full of food. Because I find it's very difficult to try and keep to healthy eating when other people are providing the food. So at this event last week, the only thing we had was salad, burgers, and just a load of cakes. Not cakes, biscuits. So it's very difficult to keep on the straight and narrow. And plus I need to up my water intake. That's gone down as well, according to my whoop. To be honest, there's so much information with this strap. I don't really understand it all. But when you wake up in the morning, it tells you how much of a good sleep you've had. Which obviously you can feel it yourself, but it reminds me things like, oh, you haven't had any water today. And we will find out. I've only got 4 more sleeps left to unlock this feature of health span. So we'll find out in about 4 or 5 days what my projected body age is. Although I've got to laugh at this feature. Apparently for 2 hours and 39 minutes I was in a highly stressed mode. And the only thing I was doing was cleaning the house, which I suppose is a stressful activity when you don't want to do it. But it said the other day that I was in a highly stressed mode when I was just walking down the street. So to be honest, a lot of this information I don't understand, and I've still got 12 more days to decide whether I want to keep it. So I could end up just sending the thing back and having a refund. Oh, I thought I could hear the rain then. Because I think when the rain comes, it's in for the night again. So I'm going to concentrate on the weeding, and then once the weeding is done, I want to... Oh, the heron just flew up. Once the weeding is done, I want to concentrate on building shelves in the shed and making things perfect. Because the best day I've had down here so far was, when was it? 2 weeks ago? Or was it 10 days? When I came down at about 4:30 in the morning that day. And what I realised then, I need things to be laid out. Because I was trying to be very quiet, not to disturb the neighbours. I was like, right, I need to have my pots on a shelf, my bag of compost there, so everything is laid out. I don't have to be pulling things and making a noise. So that will be the next task, but let's get the weeding finished with first. But to be honest, things seem to have stopped growing. I know we haven't had the weather, but the pumpkins just seem to have stopped. The runner beans seems to have stopped. I was reading in one of the local forums, people are complaining that their runner beans are just not running up the canes. They've run away, and they were asking, is it still time to put in some more seed? And like I said to them, well, put it in. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. But who knows, we might have a late summer. I'm not sure if we're allowed to call it an Indian summer now. Anyway, I can see dark clouds coming, so I'm going to skedaddle before the monsoon comes. So I'll catch up with you in a few days, where hopefully I will be hands deep in the weeding. So from me until then, bye for now.